Good morning, good morning, good morning. Friday food for thought. Now, I usually do this Friday food for thought in a Facebook group that I manage called Black Women 40 Plus Thrive Tribe. But I'm going to try something a little different and do this on YouTube and then post it and share it in there as well. Because we are so close to growing our YouTube, and I wanted to talk about some other things beyond. I know I do every Sunday, I post a video on astrology, Astro Self-Care Sunday. Thank y'all for tuning into that. That's our most, my glasses are hot topic thing. So I'm going for my walk, and so on Fridays, what I do in that Facebook group is I dedicate my live time to giving something, offering something regarding wellness, weight management, health, and particularly as it relates to Black women over 40. And I know that that's not just my audience here on YouTube, and that's fine. But for those of you who do relate to that, yay, and hopefully you'll grab a nugget. But if you are not in that demographic, you still will grab a nugget. So I don't have a real specific topic other than I think I just want to kind of talk about how important it is for your health and wellness, how much play and pleasure add into this idea of your mindset, your body, and your soul. And that's mainly because it's something that I constantly, I think, recently, ever since I started my own business, and that was as an artist, Kenya MJ Music Productions. When I started that in 2013, 2012, my life changed so much. It just changed so much, and I had to learn how to become an entrepreneur. And honestly, when I started it, this was just when YouTube was just hitting. Facebook was there, but not anywhere of what it is now. And IG maybe had started, I don't know, but just in its really early stages. Twitter was around. But nobody was talking about, health and wellness on these streets like this, right? Nobody was talking about how to build a business as a musician, as an independent artist. Like, they weren't talking about that on this. So I wasn't even talking about that on this. And so it was, I got into just this grind and this pattern of how I worked. And, it was effective, more or less. In other words, I grew my music business really well. I was able, through the years, to really accomplish so many things musically that I never dreamed that I would be able to do. Touring internationally, opening up for acts like Layla Hathaway and Rochelle Farrell. And I mean, it was just crazy, being a part of Essence Fest and, going to Amsterdam and, shooting music videos in Paris. I mean, it was just, and there is no but. I mean, that definitely far exceeded anything that I was thinking about doing. And it was also a pretty rough on my wellness, and I didn't even realize it. I really didn't even realize it. I was so caught up in the business, and then also just caught up in the vanity of how I needed to look and not the health of how I needed to be. And so I had a big crash in 2017 physically, meaning my body, I had what I consider kind of a mini health crisis. I found out I was anemic, and that then led to me having to go and do research and find out more about what was causing the anemia. And that's when I found I had significant fibroids. And then from the fibroids, it was like, okay, well, I'd already had my children and I wasn't trying to have more children, so that was okay, but still that was causing, it was just, and so I had to really relook at just everything of how, not just my physical, but my mental, of how I was approaching my life and wellness and so forth. And so I did make some shifts and some pauses, and then along the way I did a little thing called get a divorce. So listen, it was a lot, okay? And I'm just now, literally, it is 2024, 2017, so that's 7 years ago. I'm just now really understanding how me being an entrepreneur the way that I was cannot be an entrepreneur. I can't be that type of entrepreneur now. I cannot work like that now and think that my body is just going to be all right with that. Even though, yes, I still attempt to eat 80-20, eating 80% healthy, move. I'm on a walk now. I'm actually in Colorado right now as my home state, visiting family, taking a little bit of vacay. And so I'm gonna sound even more out of breath because, Colorado's a mile high, y'all. You don't got as much oxygen up here. Although my body acclimates pretty quickly because it has memory. It's like, oh, you're in Colorado. Oh, it does some things. But anyway, so I realized while I can do all of those things, the quality of my foods, and the biggest thing is my stress. And not really understanding. I'm the type of person, because working really actually fulfills me, like when it's creative work, not just, don't get it twisted, not just out there working, no. But when it's creative work, when it's work that I'm creating, I'm building opportunities, I'm creating for other people, opportunities that share more and express more of what my heart desires, I could do that all day. It's hard for me to put boundaries in that because it feels good and it feels right and I like it. But it's too often I go too overboard. That's my Capricorn moon. For those of you who do follow astrology and watch my Sundays and you want to know where that's coming from in my chart, that would be the Capricorn moon, girl. Yes. Anyway, so I keep attempting to figure this out. And I wish I could come here and tell you this is the formula, but where it starts, this I do know. And this is the encouraging food for thought I want you to really take home. It has to start with your mindset. I don't care what anybody says. It does not start with your food. It does not start with your exercise. It does not start with you tracking foods. It starts with your mindset and how you are understanding yourself, your life, and how you want to exist in it. Because when it comes to wellness, when it comes to even if it's weight loss or weight management, it cannot be something that you're doing for a moment and then return back to whatever you were doing before. It has to be something that you mentally, spiritually understand and fundamentally understand about yourself, so that you adopt this way of living. And I know so many of you already know this intellectually, but I think particularly at this stage, I'm in my 50s now, and yeah, it would be nice, I guess, to wear the size clothes, whatever. I am working so hard to just tap into me really stepping in fully, not only into my creative self, but to my me, to my body as it is. And I know it's a mindset thing. And so incorporating more play, having more time of spaciousness, which was my word for this year. I am being way more intentional about that. I have changed my business a bit. I'm really only focusing on retreats and astrology. Those are the two things where before I was doing a lot of other stuff. I do have my book out, but that book, The She Guide, which if you're like, what is that? Go to sheguidebook.com or Amazon or Barnes & Nobles and you'll see it. Anyway, really all of that's feeding into, though, the retreats and opportunities for astrology. So that's helping a lot, because now my brain is like, oh, okay. And then, I do still work at the university doing my faculty work there and student development work there. So yeah, so mindset, food for thought mindset. I know you hear about mindset a lot, and I know that I've already hit my 10 minutes, so I'm wrapping up now. I know that can feel like, yeah, but what? I am, working on a retreat, a day retreat, as well as some offerings that you don't necessarily have to do the retreat, but it's tied into the retreat. I have a signature program called Get Lean After 40, and I haven't really activated that much because I'm not doing a lot of individual coaching right now unless you're part of my Patreon membership. But I am looking at that to really give you the strategic, the actual steps that go along with shifting that mindset. So I'm working on that because that's, again, one of the things that ties into an upcoming day retreat that I'm looking toward doing. So stay tuned. Yeah. So if you're like, oh, I want to stay tuned with retreats, if you just go right now, I have my retreats are for women and for diverse women, multicultural women, so all backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds women. But if you go to findingyourvoiceafter40.com/retreats, and you want to stay in the loop whenever I start to announce these day retreats, I'm also looking at some weekend retreats. All of those will be local in the Illinois, Chicagoland area. And then the international retreat we are launching. We've already gotten our waiting list together for that. So yeah, that's going to be happening. So just go if you want to learn more about that. There is going to be an opportunity to attend a day retreat for free for a very limited number of women. So go to findingyourvoiceafter40.com/retreats and you can grab that. And you can fill out an interest form and you can get in the loop that way. So if you want to get these more specific things to do to jumpstart your mindset, your weight management, your health, all the things, menopausal things, perimenopausal things, go to there because that's what those retreats are going to be built on. Alrighty. That's it, guys. Thank you. I'll talk to you next Friday. Bye.